嘿，大家好，我今日上嚟玩一個遊戲叫《呢個 podcast》，然後佢個中文翻譯名好似叫《不予播出》，但係我唔肯定呢一個係咪佢哋個官方翻譯名。然後你要喺呢個遊戲做一個控制晚間新聞嘅人，然後你要決定播邊一啲新聞出嚟，同埋邊一個畫面，然後如果有人講粗口，你又可能要燒佢音嗰啲咧，好似以前有一個遊戲係 paper piece， 然後我記得有啲遊戲以前都好似係控制報紙寫邊一個報導嗰啲咧，然後又有後果嗰啲，但係今次我哋係電視台，然後你睇到呢個係簡體啦，其實係因為佢呢度淨係得簡體，佢冇繁體，但係我覺得好特別嘅係佢有普通話，好意想不到。然後我哋開始遊戲名一啦，有咩遊戲名啫？其實我自己都未玩過，所以我唔係咁清楚點玩。但係我純粹覺得個題材好特別咯，佢嗰啲新聞呢，全部好似都係真人拍嘅，所以我覺得幾有誠意。哇！第一日啊，選舉點樣控制啊？右轉，哦，要咁樣㗎。哦，我要聽呢個。好難得佢全部都係真人。哦，我哋原本係清潔人員。
Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left.
呢啲有咩用？呢度？
These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain.
Well, in a few moments,
Right,
we'll be
okay,
going
they're over,
live
so we
to
haven't got long
tonight's
now till the
national
broadcast.
nightly news.
Right, quickly,
But
mate,
before
look
that,
down
let's
under
take a
the
look at
desk.
what's coming
This
up
is
later
See a load
tonight
of videotapes
on Channel
on
1.
the left?
At
They're
7
your
o'clock,
adverts.
it's the
Amoy
French
agge,
Festival
amoy
of
cały
Creation.
salad.
Load them into the
And it's a
machines on the
nail-biting
right.
quiz
When you've
tonight
done
as
that,
the team
look
of
up to the
nuclear
front again.
physicists take on 4 old ladies from East
know that?
Bleaching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom
When
of
you
Being
get the
Colin.
signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
As usual,
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
Adrian Atkinson Blimey will be grilling his guests in
好多嘢聽咯，
Incisors,
點樣聽
and
兩
tonight
邊
sees a
啊？
return for leading economist
因
Katie
為我好想
Brightman.
知佢個故仔。
Finally, at
其實冇
midnight,
故仔
it's the National Weather Report before we say good night until tomorrow. But now,
然後我呢度應該
it's
係
time
可
to
以
join
睇
Jeremy
嘅，係咪？
Donaldson for the National Nightly
I'm
News.
Jeremy Donaldson. Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
Okay.
佢重疊嘅。
Next thing is
Oh,
going to be
I
the front
understand
news
it.
titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well.
呢個
Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys honest Andy's totally independent
呢個啊？
and corners the flowered market.
哇，好大壓力
Top
喎！
Sports fans everywhere celebrate as
其
popular
實我好
Johnny
即係以前睇新聞咧，有啲未有字幕嘅，
and a
然後我覺得
spoonful
哇
of
好
sugar.
勁啊！
Meghan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Brundtland about his new movie, The Medicated. And
點啊？
we'll be
咩意
going
思啊？
live to advance headquarters to
哦
hear
要
what the leaders
教
of this fledgling party have to say on their historic
Right. Button
That's
2
all coming up on
in
tonight.
3,
national
2,
news.
1. Now.
Huh.
Lovely, mate.
Yes Yes
Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
咩意思啊？呢個
Blonde clutch on election night?
Yeah, Megan's pretty pissed off too.
I'm not
我錯
surprised.
咗啊！我快咗頂。
Yeah, but it's hot though.
係喎，佢哋扮裝喎，我突然發。
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1.
我完全唔識做咯。
Lovely, mate.
The votes are in, and it's a
我以為
decisive
係佢
win
爆
for the
炸嗰
You'll
陣，我
get a
要
bit of
轉翻
interference
去。
around this time, mate. Keep your eye on the machine at the bottom right. Use that slider that's flashing or your scroll wheel to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual
控
policies
制佢嘅
and of
聲。
being deliberately vague. The opposition
好多嘢
parties
做
have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate.
然後
but have
佢
yet
仲
to appear
會
publicly.
遲下係有啲現場直播啊，
Great,
即
it's
係唔
going
係呢
well.
啲。
All you've
然後
got
我
to
就
do
要
now is
轉
play the
係邊
advert
一
at
個
the end of the
話。
segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right.
有冇話有
You
幾
normally
多
play
錢
the
啊？
first
呢
one
啲
at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leaders
好壓力
accept
大
this.
啊
And 3,
That's all coming
2, 1, advert.
Yes，
1
啱
minute
啱
back,
好，
everybody. Jeremy,
係咪？
I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh.
I thought I'd ask him about the election.
Personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
其實我覺得佢哋好蠢咯，有乜理由你喺鏡頭面
I
前
thought that was
咁
our little
樣
secret.
啊？
That's all right, he doesn't remember.
即係好信得過我。
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your
不過應
belief
該
in friendship.
呢啲係假嘅，即係現實生活唔會咁。
Wicked, we've made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate.
你睇
But
下
this is
好
where
有
it
心
starts
啊，
getting a
係
bit
真係
trickier.
似真廣
This
告。
next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb.
These aren't my
1.
cards. Please tell me
Try and
these
keep
aren't
the
my
shot
cards.
on whoever is doing the talking.
佢真係似教緊
Don't
我
stay
做
on the
嘅。
same shot for too long. 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it
嚇！我可以
interesting.
控制嗰
3.
度。
Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is
我
usually
覺得我
enough.
玩完呢個
Then
遊
the
戲，我
audience
可
will
以
see
去
who's
做
doing the
電
talking,
視
yeah?
台。
Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Break. Quiet in the studio. Thank you so much. 10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
係咪要整走佢？定佢會？佢會自己㗎。
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance.
邊個係
But first
Get
off,
ready to go to
cultural
Megan on
reporter
screen 4.
Megan
識
Wolf
啊？
is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture
Wolf
correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to
shot
Blunderclatch
films.
on screen 3 when she says his
Joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is a
其實係佢
Wide
有
now.
May I say,
教
having
學
you here with us
我
is
先
among
會
ours.
咁容易咯。
Right, now
目
just
前
try
好
and stay
似
on。whoever's talking.
Your latest
但係
movie,
到
which is called
我自己玩
Medicated.
我
The
都唔知
medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the
control.
director.
Give us a look at Megan's
He's a
reaction.
wonderful
I think,
chap. He really
Lovely.
is.
Now back to Thunder
I worked
Twat.
with him on several movies, all
可以
terribly
轉得咁
successful.
快嘅咩？
I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And do you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
好假啦，
That
你
is
兩個。
fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What
我會唔會
exactly are
太
you
快啊？
implying?
轉得？
But seriously, yes, you're
Oh,
right.
轉
It
得好好
was a
呢一個。
complete departure from my last
係咪？
starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember
佢咁
that
熟
that
口
was a
面嘅呢
true
個女
story.
仔。
Get back to
One
who's
soldier's fight
talking.
for a love that surpasses all others. A love,
佢
of
又話唔
course.
可以
for freedom.
特寫超過3秒
I
嘅。
think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
唔好意思啊，我
With
好
all the
專
others,
心啊。
I'm sure.
好好玩啊！呢個
If
遊
you're not
戲
doing
雖然
it
淨
for
係
the
教學。
awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Well, don't worry, you won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break. I've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff.
Looks like Blunderclash is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the knob, or hold down your middle mouse or Alt on your keyboard, and as the frequency changes, match it to the right bit by dragging right.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
Miss Flanagan.
我勁差評啊！而家搞到冇做咗佢哋直頭。
We'll do for now. Next, we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time. Little joystick or hold Alt or middle mouse, and this time push upwards.
Drowning, Lance, you said?
You need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Try and keep in time with the white guides.
得唔得？點樣整㗎？佢嗰個呢個啊？哦，呢個。
Yes. Frankly, mate, you're lucky to still be on the air. Maybe get some practice in.
好難用喎呢一個。
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
有排喎，好差啊！搞到我掛住佢哋嗌交。係咯，佢係演員嚟嘅喎，唔係咩？
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button or the spacebar on your keyboard for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you've got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good.
After a long day
Set to start
exploring Bromley,
censoring.
you can relax.
Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Only 85 minutes from the coast, and with more than 2 areas of outstanding natural interest. Isn't it time your family...
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
我仲思考緊點樣可以
Welcome
變
back.
就佢。
And I'm told we can now go live to Advance headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and
同埋
Julia
同時
Salisbury,
聽兩個
are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast.
Go for it, Beck.
Get ready to leave.
Thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day. What a day.
They use every dirty, low-down lying
啊，唔好意思，我諗住編呢個下流，我覺得好衰喎。
The people, you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebrating.
係呢個好似容易啲咯。
Coarser than the granny's fanny. Coarser than the
Memorably
granny's fanny.
put.
Nailed it.
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer
好
future.
假佢。
So perhaps we should all be
我想
celebrating.
逼咗佢
Except
咯。
the rich. To them, the party's over. They shouldn't be
假啦。
celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their
好
dusty
啦，聽我
checkbook.
講粗口啦。
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here
講
to
粗口
address
有
the
乜問
nation,
題
we
啫？
used
咁
our
你咪唔好俾
executive
佢
powers
上鏡
to
咯，
pass the Assets and Wealth Act.
同埋
Working
唔
with
好俾
the
佢
tax
飲
office,
酒。
we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort of. Probably you
Well, you don't
rather
know.
you don't. Because the likes of you
There's a
and
character,
me
yeah.
are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding
哇！我又
wealth
去翻
offshore,
綠
no
色
more
啦。
trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school
唔
snobs
記得咗
have
逼
got
佢。
nowhere to hide.
唔係，係因為我聽咗呢度。
Today, we revoked your passports. You want them back?
佢咁似
You
特
want
朗
to
普
leave
嘅。
like you threatened before the election.
其實係咪
That's fine.
暗串緊啊？
First,
Cut back to
you're
the
gonna
person
pay up.
talking.
You're gonna pay back.
Advance
Home?
are going to turn this country
點解要播佢啊？我覺得唔
bring
應該播呢
individuals
個男仔，
into a
唔
team
係伯伯。
to properly fund
唔應該叫
health
佢做
and
男
education,
仔。
to raise the living standards of us all.
The
假嘅，
said we'd have to
佢講
raise
嘅嘢。
billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats,
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
so they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports
哇！佢哋
cars
周圍
and
走
mansions
嚇
and your vineyards.
It ends
我
today.
掛住逼佢啦，我完全冇留意佢哋講啲
It's
咩。
always been in the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
佢哋講啲嘢咁賤格嘅，
Ends today.
唔係應該逼晒
And
佢咩？
tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again.
你睇下佢哋
Just like we
Been on that shop
promised
a bit
we would.
long.
And until then, ladies and gents, I should just
佢哋兩個係衰人嚟嘅
I
喎。
can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from and our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out
啊！
for you
佢
in
讚緊
time.
我，
If
但係佢
not,
哋兩個真係黐
someone's
線
going
嘅
to be in
喎
trouble.。
我以為個女仔係正
So,
常
as the country braces itself for new
新
government,
政府
that's all from us this evening at the National
係我
Museum.
啊！
We'll be back tomorrow
我係咪有
with
新
full
工啊
coverage
咁？
of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful Jeremy Donaldson.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming
嚇
back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
明明就係因為有新政府，所以係辭職啦，而家就要我去做佢嘅工作
And
啦，
I'm
真係
dying now.
You should say lucky。但係係咯，
Not going for a drink?
呢個遊戲真係好有趣，
Try not to get murdered.
我幾享受。啊得啦，我知好差，唔使提我啦。窮光蛋一個，我拎到所有工資，應該係如果我做啲對政府衰嘅嘢，佢就會扣我人工嗰啲咧。通常都係咁。咩意思呢個？
All right, mate. Welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what
哦，咁特別嘅。
There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes, and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Click on it now.
哦，我要睇翻自己。
That's all the broadcasts that you've done.
佢會儲存幾耐啊？
Once it's finished loading, you
In
can
a
use
few
the
moments,
rewind
we'll be
and
going
fast
live
forward
to
at the bottom
tonight's
there
national
to help
nightly
you get to the
news.
bit you want to
But
see.
before that, let's take a look at what.
我想睇佢嗌交嗰 part。我轉咗去佢哋化妝都咩事啊？冇人叫佢係咯，叫個新手做嘅喎。去轉去佢哋嗌交先。冇嘅。冇咗咯，我明明有一 part 係唔小心整咗佢哋嗌交。咩㗎？我就係所有片。
放啲咩呢？
所以我就可以聽晒佢。就係咁廣告啦。其實我覺得係因為你玩嗰陣係睇唔晒呢啲嘢，因為你要不停咁樣轉啦，然後佢就費事即係好似嘥咗，然後佢就特登俾個機會你睇翻，同埋係課你重玩咯，係咪？我覺得好得意嘅。因為可能我會係咯，有啲揀唔中嘅廣告，然後佢冇理由冇咗㗎嘛。好啊，但係我哋呢一集就到完啦。我哋下一集應該係真正自己要去係咯控制個畫面，應該會難好多。因為我呢一集教學我都係試，所以我覺得我分分鐘會好差咯，一定。咁好，我哋就下一集再見。